Hey there, Monarch! Glad to see you made it on time. They're just about ready to leave Mazeo. I'm so excited to see what Alarinthia is like. I mean, except for the heat, of course. Yikes. But I guess there'll be plenty of time to adapt.
Yeah, I don't think our visit there will be a short one. It's kind of a tall order, forming an alliance with Alarinthia. They take their independence seriously, even more than Valinworth.
I think that Vivian will be our best shot, but I trust you and Dominic to get this done. You're a dream team, so this has to go well.
Monarch, perfect timing as always. I was just telling my friends about you. Here, let me introduce you to some of them. As your advisor, I have a few close friends. They'll provide me with counsel when you're busy. We both know that's going to be quite often, Monarch. Everybody, I'd like to introduce you to the Monarch. Treat him as you treated me. He's your new leader now, and after this war, he'll be the new ruler of Alestia.
I've heard a lot about you, Monarch. Until you arrived, you're all Damek could talk about. You have my allegiance. My sword is yours to command.
And mine, too. Trust me, Monarch. We got this. After this is done, Alestia will belong to us. And if I'm honest, it's about damn time.
Yeah, the Triumvirate has ruled over us for far too long. A change is overdue. It'll keep things nice and interesting. Please, Monarch, come to me if you need any assistance at all.
Well, I guess that's everything I needed to do. The food and supplies have all been taken aboard. Alex took care of it overnight. I guess he couldn't sleep. Should we continue the rest on the ship? There's still a few people you need to meet. After that, we're in for a long, boring trip.
Come on, everybody, let's do this! They'll write about this voyage in the history books. Let's give them something memorable to read about.
Monarch, we're almost ready to set sail. Here's the people I wanted to introduce you to. It's important for morale that you get along with our forces. However, these aren't just any rebels. These are the seers that you created back at our HQ. They're grateful for your gift, and I think they want to meet you. I'll leave you to it. Come find me if you want to chat while we sail. Something tells me there won't be much else to do. Oh well. Worst case scenario, we can get Pro to bring out his cards.
I must thank you for this gift, Monarch. It was alarming at first having all these visions, but now we know they can be used to secure victory.
We know that we may not be able to enjoy this victory, but honestly, I would give anything to serve somebody like you. All I ask is that you go on to live happy lives after the war.
These happy lives may elude us, but we've accepted that. To give our friends a bright future, no price is too high to pay. We are yours to command, Monarch, until we are of no further use.
Stop whining, Pro. This trip will be over before you know it. I have my complaints too, but there's nothing I can do.
But you're not scared of the sea, Ulrich. Oh, this is gonna be like torture, I know it. Do you know where I can find some buckets?
Getting queasy already? We haven't even set sail.
Oh man, you're making it worse.
But that's not Salus, right? He's been dead for a while. Oh man, I'm worried for Milas.
It's weird to see him alive, but I also know it's not really him.
Are you even listening to yourself right now? I can't believe we can say these things and mean them. Like, what's going to happen with no more Spirit Realm?
Who knows? Everything we knew was wrong. At the end of the day, maybe Valonorth will be fine. I don't see how some prison could have kept it warm.
You're right, and that's amazing. Let's push all this weirdness aside and agree on that. We'll ask Salus. I mean, Hal, for sure, when we get the chance.
Of course.
All right, everybody, here we go! We want a smooth voyage, so don't forget your schedules. Those of you with the graveyard shift, I'll make it up to you. To the seas we go!
You are not my father.
Do you say this to inform us, or to console yourself?
Huh?
This question was self-explanatory.
It's just... I should be mad at you. Furious. You defile the memory and likeness of my father.
Do we? It seems that Salus was an honorable man. Are we not carrying out his final wishes?
What?
The freedom of Alestia. The destruction of the Triumvirate. When you look at it that way, it seems as if we defile nothing.
I don't know.
What are you wishing to know?
I want to know how I should feel right now. This is just so bizarre. I have no idea what to do. Back in Valinor, things were so simple and easy.
Why must you do anything? You could mull over this development for years, you know. At the end of the day, you should do something more useful.
Like what?
This is not for us to decide, but have no worries. We will take care of this body, and using it, we will do everything we can to honor your father.
Thank you. I'll let you know if I think of anything. This might take a while for me to understand.
Very well, but please remember this. Lack of understanding is not a fault. In fact, it can be a strength. You flourished even though you did not know the truth of the spirits.
You're right. I think I need some time alone. I'll be down in the crew quarters, Hal.
You know, for once I thought things were going well. We had an army, and it seemed like our objective was clear. But they outsmarted us. It caught us off guard. We were careless. They always say to be cautious if things are going too well, especially in war. We got blinded by the victory we thought we secured. Nobody thought to question our course of action, or Domic's orders. And I'm supposed to be the next elder of Valanorth. For the safety of our nation, I need to be better than this. I need to plan for every course of action, however unlikely. I just wish things could be clear, like they used to be. Though things were difficult, our future was certain. We don't even know if we can secure this alliance. Really? Are you sure about that, Monarch? You have a world to save. You can't just focus on me. Another mistake would mean the end of our cause, permanently. I mean, that's why I haven't really had time to think about romance. What good is planning my future if I might not even be alive next week? That would just lead to heartbreak. Heartbreak could be catastrophic. I was so lost in thought, I couldn't sleep last night. I decided to help Alex prepare the ship for our voyage. We got to talking, and he told me something shocking. I'm not even sure if I should tell you this, Monarch, but I guess it's something you deserve to know. Remember how those people recognized us? They recognized us too. Immediately. I assumed it's because they knew our parents. But then they told me how they knew them. Our parents were pirates, Monarch. Feared, hated, legendary pirates. Sure explains their trips to Mazeo. At first I didn't believe it. I was lost in denial, but they kept telling me more and more, and I had to accept it. I always pictured our parents as these perfect, untarnished people. But they were killers. They broke the law. They pillaged. They were part of the reason the Triumvirate launched the occupation. I know what you're going to say. They wanted the idol. Piracy was a cover. And while you may be right, the excuse was still valid. At the end of the day, piracy was running rampant throughout Mazeo. Our parents played a part in giving them this perfect excuse. Don't you see? And in doing so, they are partly responsible for all of those deaths. We always thought they were innocent victims. But were they really? Honestly, I doubt I'll be doing much sleep tonight either, Monarch. Let's sum it up, shall we? There's no more spirit realm. Our belief system was shattered. Almost the entire rebellion was killed in action. We were tricked. And to top it all off, I'm the daughter of some ruthless pirate killers. How am I supposed to process all of this? How will you? Your parents, my parents, Fortune's parents, all 6 of them. They're not the people we thought they were. What do we do? I'm just so lost, Monarch.
Hey there, Monarch. There's something that's been driving me insane. You know how we were all freaking out about Valanorth? Without the heat from the spirits, it'd freeze over and die. I mean, we believed it, but right now, it doesn't make any sense. The spirit realm is a prison, right? Nothing mystical or beneficial. It matches up with what people outside of Valinor were saying. We were just superstitious and lived in a unique location. The monarchy gave us visions, and nothing more. We'll have to ask Howl the moment we get the chance. If it's like I think it is, then Valinor will be fine. No risk at all. As hard as these truths are to believe, they do have their benefits. At least it'll make Valessa's job as Elder a lot easier. The one major problem she had to take care of, completely eliminated. I know it's stupid to say this now, but it seems like one last gift from the spirits. Let's just hope we get lucky like that in Alarinthia. Securing an alliance with barbarians sounds super difficult. They're stubborn in their tradition, just like Valinor is known to be. But their tradition isn't steeped in the spirits like ours was. At the end of the day, will they even care about any of this? They almost live a world away, untouched by our problems. No point worrying about things out of our control, right? Maybe we should talk about something we do have power over. Remember that climbing gear Pro gave me money for? Well, check it out! They're adjustable, so you can wear them no matter what. You don't need to look for a foothold anymore. You can make them yourself. As long as you're strong enough, there's nothing you can't climb, Monarch. I know what I'm doing as soon as we get back. I'm heading to Valinor and climbing the Grand Tree. I want you to join me. It'll be a good place for you to learn. I know what you're thinking though. Why would I learn to climb on something so difficult? Well, you have gear now. I never did. It's a huge advantage. The only thing holding you back will be your energy. But with everything we've been through, this should be simple. I think it'll only take a few hours to climb, if I'm totally honest. I'll bring us a backpack with a bunch of water. Or maybe we should split that over 2 backpacks. Don't want to make one of us carry too much weight. Anyway, it'll be nice to make some history together. Not many people can say they've been to the top of the Grand Tree. Maybe we'll start a trend, a sort of coming-of-age thing, you know? I know there's so much danger in our future, but there's happiness too, you know? Lots to look forward to in the end. Besides, I doubt I'll be key to our Alarinthian alliance, so in the meantime, there's not really anything else I can do. I've been practicing my climbing on the netting of the ship. People are worried that I'll fall off, but I tell them not to worry. It's very rare that I fall off, and I usually shake it off pretty quickly. I saw some of them get together and make some betting pools. It's a pretty boring voyage, so they make their own entertainment. I suddenly start to know why pirates enjoy fighting and gambling so much. When you're out at sea, there's just nothing much to do. It's pretty crazy. I'd go insane if I were a pirate. I just know it. After this war, I think I want to settle down on the mainland. Sailing isn't for me. I can say that with absolute certainty. Sorry for rambling on, but yeah, there's nothing else to do. I bet the other people will be able to keep your interest longer. But before you go, I have just one question to ask you. Do we make it to the top or do we fail? What's your bet, Monarch? And no refusing. We're on a pirate ship, so we need to act like pirates. Optimism? I love it! The other pirates didn't share that trait. They seem to actually look forward to failure. Though I guess that would be fun to watch. Can you imagine if I fell on the netting into the sea? They'd probably stand by and laugh rather than help. I guess we can figure that out when the time comes. Which, as I'm starting to realize, is pretty darn soon. Think of some ideas in your off time, alright? We'll announce the terms before we climb.
Hey there, Monarch. As you can see, I'm getting ready for combat. I give it 2 days before we are dragged into conflict. They don't use words to resolve things in Alarinthia. It's always a duel or a tournament. That's all they do. When we are there, we might as well speak their language. Gotta make the most of a bad situation, right? I'll get to give my sword arm a real challenge. What about you, Monarch? Excited for this? That's the spirit. We're going to make history. I really hope we can help Vivian and change the nation. As you know, that's been my dream for the longest time. It's nice to know that her movement actually has some traction. If only my parents were so lucky. I bet they'd be proud, Monarch. The foe may seem impossible to beat, but I have a feeling we can do it. And that is, if we even get the opportunity to side with Vivian. If we get stuck with Dracu, I have to admit that I'll be disappointed. We'd get our alliance, but at the end of the day, Alarinthia would be the same. But I'm guessing you didn't come down here for a lecture. Have a seat. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. I don't want to scare you, and I'm not really hiding anything, but we are about to go to my homeland. You might hear things. Can you promise me something, Monarch? No matter what happens. Remember me for the things I've done for you and the rebellion. No matter what you hear about me or my past, please, don't judge me. I wouldn't judge you based on your past, so I expect the same from you. Good. Then that's pretty much everything I had to say. I was really worried. I wasn't sure how to handle that topic. So rather than overthinking it, I just shot straight. Thank you. It was especially hard since you're such a powerful figure. I'd hate to get on your bad side, so I need to be fully open. I have a few secrets, as we all do, but nothing really bad. If you don't find out in Alarinthia, I'll probably tell you myself. In fact, maybe it would mean more if it came directly from me. Sorry, I must sound stupid. I'm not really good at this kind of stuff. Talking about myself is hard. It definitely helps to get drunk. But ale was something they didn't think to pack for this voyage. Maybe I'll pull some strings so the ride back can be more lively. Sorry I didn't have much to say. I guess I'm a little shy. But it'll all make sense in time. I can promise you that. When that time comes, you need to keep your promise.
Hey there, Monarch. Perfect timing, actually. I wanted to talk to you. I thought we could get to know each other a little better. Unfortunately, our time was cut short back at the Rebel HQ. But this is a long voyage, with no need to cut any corners. So, wanna have a seat? We can get things started. The candles are supposed to be relaxing, something about aromatherapy. I never really looked into it, but I'm scared of water, so I needed help. You should tell me about yourself, Monarch. And this is because I'm genuinely interested, I swear. Whatever you tell me, I'll never write down in any books. That's what friends do, right? Confide in each other? I know I always talk about writing books and conducting interviews, but the truth is, this time, I want to keep things between the two of us. Everyone always treats me with such apprehension, you know? Like, anything they tell me, I'll turn around and use it against them. That is a part of my business, but it's not like I want to do things that way. I hope people don't treat me that way after the war is over. I'm quitting this swindler's life as soon as I get the chance. I'll still write, but I won't use information as a weapon. Ever. Instead, I'll use it to help those in need. You know, I've done it before and it feels good. Information can either be a sharp knife or a warm embrace. Weird metaphor, I know. But like I said, I'm no fiction writer. I prefer to focus on stuff that's real, like people and their actions. They ripple outwards, affecting people in ways they'd never know. Of course, that's something that applies to normal people. There's nothing normal about you, Monarch. No offense, of course. You're going to be in charge of the entire world after this war is over. Can I tell you a little secret? Maybe it'll make you see things differently. You know, so you won't picture me as a bad person. I can tell that a lot of people do, even if they don't say it. But all I'm doing is helping Damek win this war in the best way I can. It's not my fault I'm like this. All I can do is play with the hand I've been dealt. There was this little boy who got abandoned by his parents. He didn't know why, and that hurt him so much. Maybe they just didn't want him. But why? What did he ever do to them? It made no sense, and he hated that. He had to grow up on the streets, living on the scraps that other people threw away. It wasn't just his parents, you know. It almost seemed like nobody wanted him at all. That just made things worse. Can you imagine feeling unwanted by the world? He started to pick up on people's secrets. You know, just little things. After a while, he found out that people would pay anything to learn these secrets. As a teenager, he used this ability to live a luxurious life of gluttony and sloth. He knew secrets that could topple cities or destroy people's relationships. But none of that gave him satisfaction, because there was one thing he never knew. Why his parents abandoned him. Why they didn't want him. Did he deserve it? It was too humiliating to admit, so he made up another story. His parents died during the occupation. That was much less embarrassing. Everybody believed him, and that helped him fit in with a new group of people. This new group of people, the rebellion, wanted to use his skills for good. They accepted him with open arms, which is something nobody had ever done before. He knew he found his place in the world, and since then, he served his new family. He keeps prodding the locals for information, picking up all sorts of secrets. He wants to know why people do the things they do, and what motivates them. He does this so nobody has to suffer like he did, simply not knowing the reason. So everybody thinks this guy is bad. A blackmailer and a swindler. He might be right, but it's just how he grew up. He had no control. He had nobody to show him how to act. Nobody to care or love him. Until the rebellion took him in, of course. I'm sure you already guessed it, but that boy is me. All my actions, however bad, have had a reason. I want to keep going until I learn about my parents. Where are they now? Why did they throw me away? If they weren't proud of me, then would they be proud now? I hope you can understand. I really do. I'd do anything to learn where they are right now. I'd follow any order. I just want to see them face to face and finally learn the reason why. That's why I threw myself into this world of secrets and trickery. I thought that if I kept going, maybe one day I'd learn the truth. I guess we'll find out before this war is over. Right, Monarch?
I was such a fool, Monarch. Shane tricked me. I was careless. I should have never let him get close to me. He knew my weakness and exploited it. He made me so happy to see him again, and I thought I was finally ready. Will you have a seat with me, Monarch? I guess I should tell you the truth of what happened. From the sidelines, I must have looked incompetent. I mean, I'm trained in combat, you know. I should have been able to avoid Shane's dagger with ease. It's what they're all thinking, even if they don't say anything. Back during the occupation, my parents were killed. I saw them murder my father with no hesitation. Blood. Everywhere. After that, my mother took my hand and tried to find us some shelter. We didn't make it very far. We saw all the bodies in the town square, mountains of them. The ground was full of blood, almost like an ocean. If you look closely, you can still see some of the stains, even today. My mother made a judgment call and did something risky. What's the one place they would never look for survivors? That's right, amongst the corpses, covered and crushed by them. I was crying, but she helped me get underneath a bunch of bodies. She played dead and lay on the outside, holding my hand as tight as she could. I remember how she kept telling me that everything would be okay. That soft whisper. She didn't make it very long. They found her and stabbed her over and over. I felt her wince every time. The grip of my hand got tighter and tighter. Then, after a while, it just let go. I got to feel her final moments. The voice telling me that everything would be okay soon went silent. I was left there, under a pile of bodies, covered in blood. The last embrace I remember, the last time I held a hand. It's not something I could ever do again, it just reminds me of that day. Now you understand how Shane made me freeze in fear and surprise. He was the only other person I told this to. He used that to trick me. And he would have killed me too, if it wasn't for you and Hal. I was finally ready to get close to somebody again, and then this happens. That's how I know Shane wasn't just acting. He played dirty, and he wanted me dead. There was so much running through my mind the moment he stabbed me. I thought perhaps he was trying to win over the Triumvirate so he could get more intel. But then he stabbed me again, and again. I knew that the man I once knew was gone. They did something to him while he was imprisoned. They won him over. I don't know how they did it, but they turned him into a completely different person. We must never let another one of our allies fall under their thrall. Never! Sorry for dropping all of that on you, Monarch. I just needed to tell somebody. It was eating away at me. And I trust you. I know you'd never do anything like Shane did. Well, I guess that's enough to kill any conversation. Like I said, I'm sorry for dropping all of that on you. Anything else you need to say to me while you can? It's easy to say that, but it's harder to actually try. Especially when you've had a track record like I have. I want to, but there's just something stopping me, you know? It's nothing against you, or anyone else I consider a friend. I just have to put this barrier up for my own benefit. I don't want to hurt anybody either, actually. This is war. I almost died back in the Rebel HQ. If I did, can you imagine the pain my allies would feel? Getting close to somebody in a time like this would be a disaster. Well, shall we call it then? I think this is as good a time as any. Let that new information process for a while. When it comes to my past, that's about it. From now on, we can look to the future. I hope it's just as bright as I picture it.
Monarch. We're still conflicted. These thoughts won't go away. Visions of needless violence and senseless destruction. You may tell us that they aren't real, but we are unsure. The emotions that well up within us are far too real. Is it possible for fake events to elicit real emotions? Or are we perhaps hearing echoes of the past? Let us phrase it differently. You know visions, yes? The monarchy used them to guide us to the best possible future. How can you know that best possible future without trial and error? There would still be many futures left unseen and many pasts avoided. Knowing one true course of action requires disregarding millions of wrong ones. What if we are simply seeing these many avenues, almost like our visions have evolved? If not evolved, then perhaps gotten muddled. Rather than see the one important future, we see everything. We do not know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, Monarch. If this is true, then we exist unbound from time, a string in a labyrinth with no one holding the other side, no one to tug, no one to guide us in the right direction. No one, of course, except for you. Our visions may be useless at the moment, but are yours. We would recommend that you try inducing a vision, Monarch. Not right now, of course, but in your own time. However, when you do, we would request a favor. If you see the future, embrace it, but also look into the past. The future you see blossoms from choice and consequence. Look back at those choices made and conjure up the choices unmade, the loss, the heartbreak, the death. Maybe then you will know what pains us. There is only one thing that remains constant throughout these visions. Yourself, the blade of Exodus, and the death it feeds off of. There is something self-serving about all three of these things. You always have that blade, and the people around you always die. When they do, it's almost like that makes the blade more powerful. It's like there's an essence released from our bodies when we pass on. But is that the essence of life? Or the essence of death? Perhaps that is a choice the wielder of the blade must make. What do you think, Monarch? Is that energy life? Or is it death? An interesting thought, to say the least. If it's up to the wielder, at least we know where you stand. That blade is such a mysterious thing, and it grows ever stronger. We wonder if you possess this ability as well, to see the past, even when you stand in the present. Is that a curse meant only for us, or a gift to be further honed? It eludes our understanding, and we wish to know for sure. When we come back to the mainland, please return to Valinor. Close your eyes, concentrate on the past, and talk to your comrades. Do they speak as they do now, or as they did back then? We think that this answer will be very enlightening for us. And if it is, then maybe you can understand our plight. How do we know where we are if our surroundings fluctuate? What if we already had this conversation, and this is but an echo? Perhaps we reside at the end of time, simply witnessing our demise. Sorry, we must appear insane. It's just hard, not being grounded in the present. The one downside of visions, being lost in time. Dreaming of that brighter future, and ignoring the present, looking back on the past, and focusing on our mistakes. We experience this tenfold, even mistakes we did not make. When we see your death, we feel pain, a pain worse than death, the loss of hope. That blade falls to the ground, coated in your blood. Comrades scream in agony as they befall the same fate. Then why do we stand there, only capable of watching? We wish to help you avoid this fate. That is our duty. We apologize for the lack of sense, Monarch. Your time is more valuable than that, limited as it is. Perhaps next time, we will make more sense of everything. But try not to forget our advice and our request. We know there is a purpose for all of this. There must be. Together, we will find it, rather than stand here and complain.
Oh, geez, this is almost unbearable. Ulrich, how do people even live in this heat? It's only been 10 minutes and I already feel like death.
You get used to it, trust me. Besides, a lot of the natives are draconic. Their bodies don't handle the mainland too well.
Oh, I think I read about that. Hopefully they can adapt just as fast as we can. We'll be marching into Balteus together, after all.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just make sure to have a drink on you at all times. In these deserts, dehydration is your greatest enemy.
Right.
Hello, Monarch.
Hey,
I was just about to ask Howl about Alarinthia. Surely it looks much different than it did back then. Legends dictate that it was once lush and full of green.
legends that lie.
Wait, really? But that can't be true. The destruction of the idol turned it into this desert. Without spiritual energy to nurture the land. Oh, wait.
Precisely. Alarinthia has always looked this way. This legend you speak of is simply a poorly conjured tale. We often create stories to understand what we cannot grasp. Correct. In our prison, we had no power. There is no logic behind these assumptions of yours. At least, no logic now that you know the truth of our kind.
Well, isn't that wonderful news? At least it narrows our focus a little bit more. I could tell that was a source of stress, Monarch.
We are happy that we could ease some pain, Monarch. The fear of losing your homeland, we can't even imagine. At least it remained only that, a fear. We were not so lucky.
Normally there'd be a lengthy immigration process, but due to the ball, this nation is open to everybody. It's a long trek, but we can head straight into the city. Look for Vivian, I presume. If we can't find her in time, then we'll head to the ball. But meeting her before then would be a huge advantage.
We agree with this course of action, Monarch. However, our knowledge of Alarinthia is not very deep. We'd suggest working closely with Ulrich in this endeavor.
Hey there, Monarch. Welcome to my homeland. Forecast calls for excruciating heat and a chance of death. Just a chance, though. Let's hope it stays that way, right? Let me guess. You have a lot of questions. I'll try my best to answer, but make it quick. We're on a strict timer here. We can't fail. The ball starts in around 8 hours. Dinner time. If we don't move fast, we won't be able to make it. You know what's at stake, Monarch. Let's get going.
I need to thank you again, Pommy. Your support means a lot to me, it truly does. Some of the rebels have started to side with Howl.
A pretty dumb decision if you ask me. I know what they're thinking, that you're responsible, but that's impossible. Nobody could have seen what was coming.
Yeah, we were played. Caught off guard. I know it won't happen again though, things are different. It's almost like our belief in the spirit realm was holding us back. Do you think the people will even believe us though? I mean, do you even believe the truth we've been told?
I don't really have a choice, Domek. Your speech gave us proof. It was undeniable. I'd advise doing the same thing to every other Alestian. Even if it takes years, you can do it. I'll even help you if you need assistance. Nobody said that things would be easy after the war.
You're right, and thanks for that offer. I'm pretty sure I'll take you up on it, since this is a tall order. But I know that almost anything is possible if we all band together.
Of course. So for now, we need to fix the discord in our ranks. I'll talk with the rebels that are siding with Hal. They need to stop. There are no sides in this. We all fight for the same cause. And if they put their differences aside, well, Domek, we'll win this thing for sure. Halin, can I talk to you for a moment?
Of course, Master.
Back in Mazeo, I was confident, but not anymore. I'm starting to worry that the Triumvirate will chastise me. What should I expect? And how should I react if they do?
You act as if you haven't failed them before. Remember when I first became your apprentice? They thought you weren't teaching me good enough. You almost went insane when they gave you time off.
You would too, Halin. Trust me, it's boring. But that's nothing in comparison to what happened. We don't have the blade, and almost everybody escaped.
Through no fault of our own, remember? I have your back in this. I won't tell them the truth. However, I need to ask for one thing in exchange.
Of course.
Work on your personal issues, Master. I don't care what they are, just get them sorted out. But we'll save the bad news for last. We dealt a major blow to the rebellion, Sovy. With the loss of their leader, they'll be in disarray. If the Triumvirate doesn't like that, then it's their problem. Like you said, this isn't the last time we'll face them in battle. Whether it takes us days or months to win, it shouldn't matter. After all, we'll still win. With that said, are we clear?
We're clear. Let's continue walking. I'll think of what to tell them as we move along.
So, what was all that about? You said I was one of you now, right? When will you start treating me that way?
Oh, sorry. Force of habit. We were just talking about what we should tell our masters. While we did damage the rebellion, we failed in our objective.
You mean that blade?
Yes, and the seer.
Look, Sovy, you kinda saved my life. For that reason alone, you have my support. Whatever you want me to do, just let me know.
Thank you, Shane. It means a lot. I can tell we're going to get along just fine.
I can't believe that people actually live here. How much farther is it, Ulrich? This is crazy.
I'd say around 6 to 8 hours. There's an oasis halfway there we can stop. I have a feeling you've already exhausted your canteen.
It was too hard to resist. So, there's an oasis in a few hours? That'll be a good place to rest and relax.
We can't waste that kind of time, Dominic. There's enough time to fill up on water. That's it. If we take too long, we'll miss both Vivian and the ball.
Right, of course.
Back in the day, they used these deserts as punishment. Criminals were sent out here and they had to prove their worth. If they were strong enough to survive, then they'd be taken back in. Most of the time, the criminals would just succumb to the heat. They'd be unable to move, then they'd pass out. Death would come soon after. They called these people Sixers, since they usually passed out within 6 hours. In addition to that, their bodies lasted 6 days. Don't worry though, we'll be fine. We have water. That isn't the courtesy they wanted to give to criminals. You're probably wondering why I'm telling you this story. Don't worry, I have a reason. Aside from passing time, I mean. If the Sixers survived, they gave them special markings. They were pardoned and to be respected for their power. A bit of a secret, you know? Just keep it between us, alright? Besides, they look pretty good, don't they? Well, they haven't used that method of punishment in a while. You might just need to find a copycat artist like Salus did. If something looks cool, people always try to rip it off. Anyway, I guess that's enough story time for now. The more you know about Alarinthia, the better. That and it makes the walk go by way faster. If you'll excuse me, I have some business to take care of. We'll have plenty of time to talk later, Monarch, trust me. If you find that you're needing anything, just wave me down. Hey, Pro, can I talk to you for a second?
Of course. What's up?
I can't say in front of everybody else. I need to talk to you alone, in secret.
Oh, is it about that?
Pro, not in front of anybody else. Follow me over here and talk quietly.
Right. Sorry. Well then, what's up? This is amazing! Just what I needed. If you don't mind, I'm gonna take a swim. Just give me a few minutes, alright?
Fortim, no. That's disgusting. People drink this water. It's not for swimming.
But...
No.
Wait, really?
That's amazing. And you're certain about this?
I totally totally needed to hear some good news. This trek through the desert is downright awful. When we get back, let's all go to Valinor.
Yeah, definitely. It'll feel so good to be back home. With your vision and that dim idol, my outlook was so grim. But now that attack won't happen, and the idol doesn't matter.
Long live Valinor?
Long live Valinor.
Hey, we were just talking about our future options. I mean, would we rather side with Vivian or Draku? I think Vivian is the better option, but Hal disagrees.
As we seem to do in many matters, we need strength to win the upcoming war, Dominic. Vivian cannot deliver as much strength, only hope for her nation. If hope could win wars, we wouldn't even be here. In times like this, we are glad that you're not in charge. We trust that the Monarch will make the proper decision.
Well, what do you say, Monarch? If you had to choose right now, what would you do? Just a hypothetical, of course, nothing set in stone. There you have it, Hal. We need to think about the future of this world too. It makes sense to give Alarinthia a new form of leadership.
There is nothing wrong with the way Alarinthia is run. You cannot change it simply because you do not like it. Such a move would make you no better than the Triumvirate. We cannot become the enemy we seek to dethrone. Your way of thinking requires some reevaluation, Dominic. You may say means to an end, but so does the Triumvirate.
Wow, you paint me as such a villain.
The change in leadership would require the spilling of blood. Innocents would die, much like the occupation of Mazeo. Think of what you lost. Do you want to do this to others?
Well, are you all full up on water? Ulrich said we're halfway there, and we're making good time. I think we'll make it to the city with plenty of time to spare, Monarch.
This body does not work like you would expect. We do not need water, and do not risk passing out. Whenever you're ready to continue, we will do so.
So, what's it like to be a seer? What kind of stuff are you starting to see? Does it hurt your head? Are you enjoying it?
It gives me great pleasure to see the future. But right now, it's just the little things. Indecipherable. Perhaps as we process this, things will become clear.
I see loss in the future, loss and tragedy. But for which side of this battle, I cannot say. It seems to be a gut feeling at the moment.
Yeah, it's the same for me. Brief flashes. But I see a coliseum and a big struggle. I think you'll all be fighting during your visit.
Fighting? That's no fun. Hopefully your powers get better over time. Imagine how strong you'd be in those battles. Able to see every move before the enemy even makes it? With that power, we'd never have to worry about tragedy or loss. I can tell you're going to be one of the best assets in this war.
Why, thank you. That means a lot. I'm happy to serve the rebellion in any way I can. What they did back in those tunnels was inexcusable.
Yeah, I'd say we show them the same treatment. We'll fight for a future that all of you can enjoy, even if we can't join that future ourselves.
That's certainly a pessimistic view, Ignis. There might be a way to save our minds, you know. This rebellion has proved that anything is possible.
Yeah, you're right. We'll make it through this.
let me handle this. I've been here before. He probably knows who we are. Info travels fast here. Just stay calm and I'll have us in the city in no time, alright? We seek passage into the city and nothing more. It's been a long trip from Mazeo and we need shelter. Our business lies with the ones known as Vivian and Draku.
I know exactly who you are, Ulrich. Vivian is waiting for you in the tavern. And Draku? Well, you'll have a ball to attend.
Wait, how do you know who I am?
I followed you all, up until the Oasis. That was my chance to get ahead and tip off Vivian. Besides, you stick out like a sore thumb. Nice markings, Sixer.
I trust that won't be an issue.
It shouldn't, but I'm surprised you found somebody to do that. Recreating the markings of the ancients is frowned upon. They earned those markings. You certainly did not.
Of course.
Though you do bear a striking resemblance to the Ulrich of legend. If anything, that'll make your relationship with Vivian more amicable.
I was given this name by my parents. They align with his views and so do I. If that'll be all, we'd like to keep going.
Of course, I wasn't standing here to stop you. I merely wished to welcome you back home. I hope you and your monarch end up useful. By the way, call me Drakior.
Well, that was easy. Because of the ball, there's almost no security. I knew he'd be involved with Vivian. I could just tell.
So we'll have enough time to meet with her before the ball. That's great. I was worried we'd be on a tight schedule. You can't really rush decisions that change a nation.
Yeah, it was definitely fortuitous. We better make sure it's not a trap. That's the perfect way to catch us off guard.
Well, he didn't seem disingenuous.
That's the perfect way to catch us off guard.
Right. So, what's the next step?
We head into the town square. If the tavern hasn't moved, it's connected. We'll be seeing Vivian within the hour, for sure.
Alright, sounds good to me. Is there more water in the city?
Yeah, but don't ask for water in the tavern. It's seen as a sign of weakness amongst Alarinthians. If you drink anything while we're there, make sure it's ale. Good. Tavern is in the same place. It's just over there, so we'll make it on time. Let's not waste too much time out here, alright? I think we only have a few hours until the ball begins. I'll stay here, but feel free to look around for a bit.
On Sixers. Sixers, the nickname for victims of a vicious form of punishment that has since been forbidden. 6 hours is all a person can last before passing out in the harsh deserts of Alarinthia. Then, 6 days later, without sustenance, they pass away, Back in ancient times, this was used as a way to punish criminals and make them prove their self-worth before returning to society. If they could survive for an entire 6 days without food and water, they would be welcomed back into Alarinthia's arms. Of course, the survival rate was low. Many people thought this was a skewed form of punishment, clearly rigged to kill. It was so long ago, but they were likely right. Disposing of criminals before making them serve sentences or deliver a more conventional means of justice was barbaric. At least that's what the activists said. It wasn't very long until their movement gained traction, and this practice was banned. Instead, they gave criminals the chance to fight for their freedom in the Colosseum of Alarinthia. If they won, their sentence would be negated. This was seen as more fair and less rigged against them. This form of resolving conflict and fighting for rights over the ages would soon evolve into something more. Passing laws, deciding leaders, and determining fates of citizens would also go on to be placed in the hands of victors. Now, the nation rests in the hands of the strong. Dracu's reign. In Alarinthia, a ruler is lucky if their reign lasts even a year. However, Dracu has been in power for several decades. This is definitely unheard of. His power is immense, and any challengers to the throne are quickly defeated in the Colosseum without effort. Every year, Dracu hosts a ball in his castle and freely spreads his riches amongst the citizens of Alarinthia. That, coupled with his strength, keeps most of his subjects happy. Many are less inclined to insurrection, and those that attempt to dethrone him are easily defeated. He seems to have a stranglehold on the nation, but it is also one that gives the land a continued sense of peace. However, due to the way that the nation is run, it is only a matter of time until he is dethroned in the Colosseum. He will join the rest of Alarinthia's past rulers, none of which have succumbed to natural causes. Only the strength of others.
It looks just like I remember it. All these years and nothing has changed. I guess there's no use trying to change perfection.
Yes, it looks much like it did in our time as well. If memory serves, Alarinthia is home to a unique wine. Monarch, if you have a drink, we would suggest that.
Wow, he actually knows what he's talking about. I'm buying a few bottles to bring back to the mainland. The climate of Alarinthia affects the taste of everything. Some in a good way and some in a bad way. I won't bore you with the details, but the wine is great. Let's find Vivian and get everything started, shall we?
Hey, would you let me buy you a drink? Something tells me you're not from around here. I know a lot about this place if you need a tour guide.
Look, we don't have time for any antics, but if you know where Vivian is, we could use some help. You're right about us being foreigners. We've come a long way.
Oh, you're looking for Vivian. Why didn't you say so? Follow me.
We'd rather stay here if you don't mind. Following strangers isn't the best idea.
All right. I'll be right back. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I trust you. Have I seen you before? You look familiar.
No. Now please leave us be. Don't bother us again unless you have Vivian. I'll ask the barkeep in the meantime. Maybe they know. Now I guess I'll start.
Your manners could use some work, Ulrich.
I use my manners on worthwhile people.
And Vivian isn't one of them? I saw how you just shoved him away.
Wait, what? Vivian is a man?
And an honorable one at that. He deserves to be treated with respect.
I don't believe you.
Most people don't. His parents chose the name. If anything, it keeps the assassins looking for the wrong person. Try and tell me you weren't looking for a female when you entered.
Let's get this over with then. We need to talk about securing an alliance. Then we'll do the same with Dracu and take the best deal.
You told them? I was having fun, Drakior. That's in short supply these days. Thanks a lot.
They're on a strict schedule, Vivian. The ball opens up in a matter of hours. Remember, you still have a move to make.
Right. A challenge at the ball. Move aside. I'll explain our plan to Ulrich. If he has any sense, he'll aid our cause.
So Vivian is a guy?
I guess so. But don't say that too loud. Something tells me it's not common knowledge.
Very smart. Helps you stay incognito. We were all looking for a girl, weren't we?
Yeah, something like that. Either way, I'm glad this worked out. We should probably talk terms with him.
You have a nice group of comrades, Ulrich. Start by telling me about him, though.
This is the monarch, heir to the throne of Alestia. After we take down the Triumvirate, this is his world. A crazy claim, I know, but we have proof of everything.
Let's continue under the assumption that I understand. At the end of the day, you want my army to aid you, right?
Right.
Well, this is where it gets a bit weird. I want your army just as much as you want mine. Maybe we can come to some sort of conclusion?
Go on.
I'm going to Dracu's ball and challenging him. Tomorrow, I plan to be fighting for the throne. We'll do it right. One last fight in the Colosseum. I had Drakior stay at the docks to watch the new arrivals. If he found a group that looked strong enough, he'd tell me. You fit the bill. Better than anyone else. So he spied on you. He heard your group talking about a rebellion and a big army. That's when I knew he hit the jackpot. Our new target was clear. But to know you came here just for me? That's pretty flattering. If you help me take down Dracu in the Colosseum, I'll help you. I can offer a few hundred men and maybe more from my throne. Who knows how many people I can rally up if I take over this nation.
But you don't just care about power, right? You plan to change this nation for the better.
Yes. I plan to model ourselves like the mainland. Elections, voters, stuff like that. No more tournaments. We've lost too many amazing people to barbaric, outdated laws.
Vivian, I'll be honest with you here. I want to support you, but the final choice rests with the monarch. After the ball, we need to talk with Dracu first and weigh out our options.
Understandable. But be warned. That's when I'm making my move. If he accepts my challenge, we'll be fighting in the morning. You better hurry. That ball is known for huge lines.
Monarch, I need to tell you something. This is my homeland, and I've always wanted to change it. I have to fight alongside Vivian, even if you ally with Dracu. And if Dracu's terms involve destroying Vivian's insurrection, well, then I think we'll be fighting each other in the Colosseum. Remember that these are fights to the death. I have no other choice.
I'll choose Ulrich as my champion then. Each side gets to choose a champion to fight with them. Aside from that, they get to choose 20 to 30 fighters. Everybody that didn't make the cut for champion as an example. This means that myself, Ulrich, and my army would fight in the Colosseum. The battle ends when either the champion or the leader has fallen. Now, I know for a fact that Draku doesn't like to lose his own men. So if I challenge him at the ball, after you ask him for his support, I bet he'll make you fight me for it. You know, use your men instead. He's predictable, but you could use that to your advantage, Monarch.
I hope it doesn't come down to fighting each other. But for the future of this nation, I will do what I must. Now let's get to that ball and see what Draku wants.
He's probably expecting you. If Drakior scoped you out, I'm betting Westy did too. That's Draku's right hand. Just be careful out there. I'll be making my move right after he addresses his people. Make sure you're there. That happens in the throne room. Just don't make the wrong choice, Monarch. Go with me.
So we might have to fight Ulrich. That's pretty scary to think about, Pro.
Only if the Monarch sides with Draku, Valessa. There's still a pretty good chance that won't happen. I wonder who Draku will elect as his champion, though.
Well, his army is supposed to be incredibly powerful. He must get to handpick the strongest Alarinthians. I'm sure Ulrich can handle it, though. At least, I hope.
Well, Draku doesn't like to waste his men, remember? It's possible he'll elect an outsider, meaning one of us. Vivian is like an insect to him. Super easy to crush.
So, we'll be fighting each other in the end? Isn't this supposed to be a fight to the death?
Exciting, isn't it?
No, it's not. That means one of us will die.
Not exactly.
Huh?
The match ends if the champion or the leader falls. It'd be possible to end this with Vivian or Draku's death. The champion is just there to spice things up, I guess. If it were just the two leaders, they'd only fight each other. Having two champions ensures the fight constantly changes pace. It makes things sound more interesting, at least. You need strategy. Watching two leaders in an unending deadlock would be boring. The champions and a small army of men really shake it up. It makes sure the leaders are at the top of their game too. They have to watch every direction and constantly be ready. It serves to show us how strong they truly are. It's crazy. Draku is undefeated, but Ulrich might just stand a chance.
I think you're kind of missing my point, Pro.
Really?
I don't think of Vivian and Draku as expendable. At the end of the day, one of us will die no matter what. Even if it's one of them, it's still something I'd like to avoid.
Then it sounds like you side with Vivian then. Draku's death would be the final death in the Colosseum. There'd be no more fights like this under his reign.
I know you're right, but it's not so easy. We have to kill him just because he thinks differently? There's no way to avoid casualties, and I hate that.
Yeah, but it's not just Alarinthia, Valessa. You could say that about this entire war in general. Sometimes it's better to look at people as means to an end.
I can never do that.
A lot of people feel the same way, trust me.
but that's probably why the Triumvirate is in charge. We need to start looking at things differently if we want to win.
If we have to compromise ourselves, then is it truly winning? I don't know, Pro. I think I need a little bit of time to myself.
Of course.
I don't want to watch Ulrich fight in the Colosseum. If the Monarch sides with Dracu, then he could die.
But he's prepared to die for his beliefs, Fortame. There isn't a better way to go. A true, noble end.
Honestly, I'd prefer if his life had no end at all. I have a feeling this choice will end up dividing us. I don't want to fight against Ulrich or watch him die.
It's all about respecting his wishes, Fortame. If he puts his life on the line for Alarinthia, we can't deny that. You'd do the same for Valinor. In fact, you already are.
Really?
This war is just battle after battle, Fortame. You put your life on the line back at Rebel HQ. That means you are ready to die for your beliefs.
I guess you're right when you put it that way.
So Ulrich isn't just fighting for Alarinthia. Remember that our army gets a boost out of this. At the end of the day, it benefits all of Alestia.
But what if the person we side with loses?
That's what makes things difficult, Fortame. Vivian is the right choice, in my opinion, but not the correct one. The correct choice is Dracu. He's won every battle and has a huge army.
This is pretty complicated. So far, every choice was concrete. There was no room to choose and then lose.
Alarinthia is different than everything we know. I guess it makes sense that things would change once we arrived. The Monarch has a tough choice to make. It's a gamble at best.
It shouldn't have to be that way, though. The future of a nation in our world is a gamble? That's bad news. Vivian has the right idea here for sure.
You mean abolishing Colosseum battles?
Yeah. Things should be just like the rest of Alestia. If they were, then we wouldn't even be in this situation.
But we shouldn't change something just because we don't like it. That's what the Triumvirate did to this world. We can't be like them. Alarinthia has been fine since the dawn of time. It can continue to be fine. Besides, Valinor is the exact same way. Independent, with its own hierarchy and leadership.
Well, Valessa plans to keep it that way, yeah. But honestly, I want unity with the other nations. I think the same would be best for Alarinthia. The Triumvirate changed this world to suit them, right? That's not what we're doing. We're liberating it, making it better. Our end goal is different, so I don't think we can be compared to them.
You have a point, actually. Maybe I've got the wrong idea. A flip coin does the same thing until it lands, after all. The truth is only shown after everything is said and done.
Exactly!
In that case, maybe I do side with Vivian. With Ulrich's strength, he may stand a chance. I hope the Monarch is on the same page as us.
I guess we'll find out once we get to the ball. But I wonder if Dracu will request our aid. And for that matter, who will its champion be? Gosh, I hope things don't get even more complicated. Not sure I could handle a web more tangled than this.
Oh, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
The general of the rebellion has fallen. Good work, Shane. You've earned our trust. We had a feeling you'd prove yourself useful. But what of the seer? We notice that you don't have our blade. This displeases us. Please, explain, Sovy.
We thought it better to damage their morale. They have the blade, but they can never recover. Next time we see them, it'll be like crushing an insect.
You failed your mission, Sovy. We wanted you to retrieve that blade. Now they have time to regroup and replan.
Yes, they have time, but not enough. I know where they'll be going, Masters.
With your permission, I'll go and end this.
End what should already be over. Sovy, do you realize what you've done? There's a reason we needed that blade. But you failed to retrieve it, and let the seer get away. Any silver lining you can come up with is simply not enough. Domek's death will only fuel them with rage to use against us.
Only if we give it time to fester. We can leave immediately. Please.
Halin, is Sovy speaking the truth? Do you trust his ability to carry out another mission?
No.
Tell us what really happened, Halin. We need to know in order to plan our next move.
Of course, Masters. Sovy failed on purpose. He had the blade and the seer's life, but took neither. I don't know why. I regret letting him run off alone.
Halin!
He planned to deceive you all along. In fact, he had me promise to lie as well. I did, but I planned to tell you regardless. I am unable to lie to you, Masters. You gave me life, and for that I am grateful. Shane and myself can carry out the next mission. At this time, Sovy is unfit for duty. It pains me to say, but it is the truth.
Rise, Grand Inquisitor. No, not you, Sovy.
What?
Grand Inquisitor, please rise.
Masters?
Sovy is hereby stripped of the rank of Grand Inquisitor. Halin, taking this mantle, you will train Shane as your apprentice. We trust that you will do as we command, and avoid letting us down.
Please, Masters, I beg you to reconsider. We have them in our grasp. We can do this.
Sovy, we would have understood the failure of your mission. But lying to us, the lack of loyalty and honesty is unacceptable. It's almost starting to seem like your allegiance lies somewhere else.
It doesn't. I swear.
We cannot be certain that you're telling the truth. Surely you can see how that lie has damaged our trust. Halin, however, has proven to be nothing but loyal. Shane killed a key member of the rebellion as well. You come back to us with nothing to show but deception. It hurts us, and so you must be punished for your actions.
Very well. I understand. But know that I will make this up to you. Until you need me again, I'll be in my chambers.
No.
Excuse me?
Your punishment must be rather severe. Without that blade, we are vulnerable.
Then Then tell me what you plan to do. There is no pain I will not endure for you.
Halin, Shane, come here. We no longer have any use for you, Sovy. The Inquisition has been reformed, and is now stronger. We have no choice but to exile you from Balteus. Permanently.
What?
You will leave immediately. This is non-negotiable. Set in stone.
After everything I've done for you, you're going to what? Just throw me away?
Yes. Without Rain in danger, we need a strong core. We need men who can get the job done, without question. This is something you seem to be incapable of, Sovy.
There must be something I can do.
No, Sovy. There's nothing you can do. It's too late. Unless you march in here with that blade and the seer. Well, to put it bluntly, we never wish to see your face again.
Wow, this is incredible. I know you said he was rich, but this is crazy. I've never seen such a fancy place. Not in my entire life.
So this is where Dracu lives. It seems a bit excessive, don't you think? I prefer our tunnels, a lot more secretive.
Alarinthia is all about showcasing your power. Most rulers add a wing or two to the castle during their reign. It's only going to get bigger and bigger with each passing year. Unless, of course, Vivian takes over. He's not fixated on that kind of stuff.
I can't imagine it getting much bigger, to be honest. What does one ruler need to do with all that space?
Well, he has a large army as well, larger than Vivian's. But don't let that sway us. I think you've seen enough to know that this place needs changing.
Right, of course. So what, do we just march right in? I don't see any guards or security.
I'll take care of this, just like before. We can't risk slipping up in this castle. One misstep, and everyone will be after us. Westy, I presume. That's an interesting name, you know?
It's a nickname for your information. And you must be Ulrich. You sure stand out.
Yes, we come in peace, don't worry. We are here for the ball, and Dracu. Is it possible to request an audience?
He's a busy man, you know.
So am I, so don't waste our time. Can we have an audience or not?
Fine. I'll let you in to see him. He's been expecting you, you know. We've been keeping watch since the docks.
Just like Vivian's man.
Yeah, but we let him get to you first. It's not often an army comes here from the mainland. We wanted to hear his offer, so we could top it.
And top it? Dracu wants our army as well? We're starting to become popular around here.
Don't let that get to your head, Ulrich. You're just as disposable to him as Vivian. You just happen to be both disposable and strong.
You might want to work on your public relations skills.
Look at this ball and then say that to me again. That's right, you can't. Now let's get going. I'll be inside the gates when you're ready.
Well, that makes things easier, doesn't it? This is going to go exactly like we expected. Let's just help Vivian and get this over with. Dracu has a bigger army, but Vivian has a brighter future. And that's what we were fighting for, remember? A better future. It might be a bit harder to win, but we can still do it.
This seems to be going pretty well. I hope we're not walking into a trap.
Dracu wouldn't try anything during his ball. This is about making the people happy, not scared. Let's hear him out, and get this over with for good.
Sure, sounds good to me. On your mark, Monarch.
Silence. We have those who would disturb the peace among us. Guards, lock the doors. We have some business to take care of. Now, how should we deal with those who disturb the peace? Watching them starve in the cells doesn't do much for me anymore. I say we hear them out and treat them in kind. So tell us, why did you come here today? Vivian.
Dracu.
You come here on my day of celebration to challenge me. It is an insult to both me and all of these proud Alarinthians. Looking deep into our core, you say we're not good enough. We honor the traditions of the ancients, as we should. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. You want to tear us apart. You want to create a nation that's weak, just like the mainland.
No, you've got it all wrong. Lack of strength is not a weakness. The unity of the mainland, their shared ideals, that's true strength. You stand here, alone, victim to your incessant squabbling.
We yield to no one while they are docile slaves of the Triumvirate. They crush the mainlanders under their heel, who ask no questions at all. Alarinthia is a free land. We make our own choices, and we hold the power.
Then help us gain our freedom! We've come here seeking an alliance. We're not all mindless slaves, you know?
An alliance? And what can you offer me? You look as if I could crush you with one hand.
I'm stronger than you think. We all are. We grew up alone on the streets of Mazeo. If we weren't strong, we'd be long dead by now.
You? On the streets of Mazeo? My apologies. That is quite respectable. You must be part of the Monarch's crew.
Yes, and we've come to seek your aid. You keep talking about how strong you are,
and help us take down those who claim godhood.
And what do I get in return?
I will be your champion and offer some of our forces. Together we can crush Vivian's pathetic insurrection. Allow us this chance to prove our strength as worthy allies.
What an unconventional turn of events. Vivian, you were seeking a challenge, yes?
Yes, at the break of dawn, I will allow you your final night of revelry.
And who will fight as your champion?
Ulrich.
I see. And what do they call you?
They call me Pro, Your Excellence. It would be my honor to fight with you in the Colosseum. I offer my life and the life of our forces to your cause.
I accept your offer, Pro. Vivian isn't worth using my own men, but you lack the authority to make this pledge. That decision lies with the Monarch. Help me defeat Vivian, and I will offer you my might. Go against me, and I cannot guarantee your survival. Monarch, what is your decree? Fight with me and prove yourself worthy of my help, or fight with Vivian against thousands of years of tradition?
If I win, don't come begging for my help. I won't forget this choice, Monarch, I swear. Come on, Ulrich, let's go prepare. We can do this alone.
None of you shall leave. I wouldn't want you running away. Private quarters will be arranged for those involved in the fight. Tomorrow morning, you will all be escorted to the Colosseum. For tonight, enjoy the ball. I think you'll find it quite exquisite.
Pro, what do you think you're doing? I had a plan, and now you've ruined everything.
Sorry, Ulrich. It just made sense. This is a fight to the death, right? Draku has never lost. I had to do it.
I had everything under control.
It's not your job to control everything. You need to get that through your thick skull.
You're going to regret this.
Regret? I can live with that. It's better than dying for nothing. Draco has killed stronger men than you. I don't think he's going to lose this battle. That's why I want to be on his good side.
So you're just going to suck up to him? Get out of my sight, bro. You're pitiful.
Hey, Draco?
Yes?
This is a really nice castle you've got here.
Thank you.
I was admiring it from the outside. I noticed it's built in a really interesting way. It's pretty bumpy. Lots of places for footholds.
Footholds?
Yeah, like places to rest your feet. I was actually going to ask you about that. Was it built that way intentionally? For climbing?
Every ruler adds to this castle in their own way. I've been in power for several decades by now. You're the only one who's ever noticed my addition.
You made it that way? Does that mean you like to climb too?
Yes, it does. That's how I start my day. There's no workout quite like it.
Do you use some special equipment? I got some metallic claw-like things in Mazeo.
I have no use for such things. I prefer to go it alone, without safety. It makes you think about every little move. One accident and you fall to your death. You don't need those claws. Just climb smarter. A handicap takes away your sense of achievement.
I think I'll need them, actually. I'm planning to climb the Grand Tree in Valenorth. If you saw it, you'd understand the necessity.
The Grand Tree. Does it live up to its namesake?
Yeah, it does. It's probably the ultimate challenge. It overlooks the entire world, you know?
Interesting. Very interesting. Perhaps I should pay Valenorth a visit one day. I never thought the mainland could provide me with a challenge.
Oh, it can. Trust me. I've been climbing my entire life. Want to hear about more fun places?
I can spare some time, yeah.
Hey. I'm upset with you. I won't hide the truth. If Vivian wins, you've screwed us all over. He'll remember where you placed your loyalty. And I'm not going to hold back in that arena. If I have to kill Pro to win, I'm going to do it. You know I want to change this nation. Nothing will get in my way. That includes you. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to explore the castle. Spirits know I need a few drinks after everything that happened.
You made the right choice. That much is clear. We need power to win this army. Draco has that power. It is unfortunate that Vivian and Ulrich will perish, however. But they will meet a noble end, fighting for their beliefs. We will go on to ally with Draco and defeat the Triumvirate. We cannot say the same had you chosen to side with Vivian. Vivian offers little power and focuses not on Alestia. To him, the change of Alarinthia is all that matters. We need allies who are less short-sighted. Thank you for asking our opinion, by the way. We value every chance we have to speak with you. If you need us, we will be in the ballroom for a while.
Hey. I'm glad we share the same views. Siding with Draco was the clear choice. We need strength to win this war. He has lots. I don't mind changing Alarinthia. It's just not time. Maybe in the future that's something we can look at doing. But for now, we need power. Change can come after the war. I think I'll go check out the rest of the ball. If this might be my last night alive, I might as well enjoy it. The ballroom sounds pretty cool, so that's where I'll be.
Well, Draco gives us the best chance at winning this war. He's undefeated, so logic dictates that won't be changing. I just hate to think that his victory means Ulrich might die. I feel so bad for him. He always spoke out about changing Alarinthia, but when he's given the chance, his comrades sign against him? He must feel so lonely right now. Only Vivian's army has his back. Draku has both pro and a handful of our rebel forces. That means if Ulrich kills, it's more likely to be a friend than a foe. Being forced to do that in order to win your dream? I can't even imagine. So I guess I'll stop thinking about it and focus on the ball. If you need me, I think I was going to check out the ballroom. I heard they have a live band, and I just love listening to music.
I hope you're prepared to fight, Monarch. You'll be among the soldiers during tomorrow's fight. Having your allegiance makes me grateful. We battle together. I would be honored to know that you gave it your all. Either way, I thought it would be best to come meet you here. You're a guest in my castle, not a prisoner as it may have seemed. It's just tradition for challenges. They're mostly issued at the castle. It ensures that the people involved in the fight can't back out. We take these battles very seriously, as you could tell. I hope we haven't issued any offense. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for your cooperation. With that said, I have a ball to enjoy.
Oh, this place is incredible. Draku sure knows how to throw a party. What about you, Ulrich? Having fun?
Draku was my enemy, Valessa. We're practically being held prisoner. Despite that, yeah, I'm having a good time.
I could tell, actually. How many drinks is that? 5? You don't want to fight with a hangover, do you?
It wouldn't be the first time. I've taught myself to fight in any state of being. Just something you learn to do when you're as old as I am.
And how old is that?
Old enough. Besides, I doubt I'll have much trouble tomorrow. Even if I fought Draku while drunk, I could take him down. So don't worry about my well-being. I've got this.
You can fight while you're drunk, too?
Of course. It actually makes things easier. Your movements are sloppy and unpredictable. That's all you need to confuse and overpower your opponent.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. That's a pretty unique fighting style. You'll be sober tomorrow, though, right?
Depends on how tonight goes. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Just go and have a good time, alright?
Alright, if you say so. This is gonna be super interesting. 2 undefeated men, locked in combat.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put on a good show for you. It's like a sport. Everybody will be watching intently. You better cheer for me. I'll be listening, Valessa.
Sure.
So, Pro, are you having a good time?
Of course. All according to plan. I know Ulrich is mad, but he'll get over it. We can win this without either of us dying.
Yeah, just take out the leader, right? Ulrich is stubborn though, so be careful. I think he might actually try to kill you.
I've been watching him spar for years. I'll be fine. I know exactly how he operates. The best weapon is knowledge, right?
You remembered my lessons.
How could I forget? It'll help me win this battle. I know it. Make sure to cheer me on, all right?
I think I'd like to remain silent, actually. I can't be taking sides at a time like this. As long as we get an alliance, I'm happy.
Oh, come on. Not even gonna clap for me.
I'll remember that when you give another speech.
I think my days of giving speeches are over, Pro. That honor belongs to the monarch now. But I'm sure they'd say the same as me.
Man, I hate how neutral everybody is acting. Sometimes it's alright to take a side.
Well, it's not that I'm not taking a side. It's more like, I shouldn't gossip to you. You're a combatant. It'd affect your morale.
What an interesting way to tell me that you side with Ulrich. Sometimes not saying something tells me all I need to hear.
Now you're just putting words in my mouth. The only person I tell is the monarch.
Interesting.
What?
You're not the first person to unconditionally trust the monarch. Perhaps I could use that to my advantage in the future.
I think this is where I get back to the party. This whole scheming business isn't really for me, but I doubt the monarch would abuse their role for you.
You're probably right, Domek. They'd have to do it without knowing. Just imagine the swindling I could do. Do we know how to throw parties or what?
Who do you mean by we?
Our people, like the pure ones. We're different civilizations, remember? Did the old monarchy party like this?
This line of questioning is pointless. Why do you wish to know such trivial information?
It's what friends do, Hal. Haven't you ever heard of hanging out? You just talk to each other about everything.
Well, the old monarchy did party. And to be honest, there isn't much difference. Do you see this as a sort of competition?
Not exactly. Well, maybe. It's always cool to know you have the most fun. Do you not compare yourself to other people?
That would be a waste of time. There is no benefit in being like other people. We simply wish to be ourselves, unique.
See? This is what friends do. They just talk. Keep going, Hal. Tell me what's on your mind. You don't need a specific topic or anything.
We would ask, why you consider us a friend? Does the world benefit from this conversation? Is there a purpose to this sort of interaction? Perhaps we should talk about the matter at hand. There is much to discuss about Vivian and Draku.
Nope, we can't talk about that. That's work stuff. We're here to unwind.
Another concept we do not understand. Every moment we waste, the enemy gets stronger.
It's not a waste, though. If our bond grows stronger, then so do we. It's important to get along with your comrades, Howl.
Very well. We will try. This party is an interesting experience. Are you having a good time, Fortame?
There we go. Now you're doing it right. Just a few more steps and you'll be ready to dance.
We would rather die.
You put up more of a fight than Sovy ever did. Where did you learn techniques like that, Shane? It almost feels like you're the teacher in this scenario.
You pick up a lot of stuff on the streets of Mazeo. Back when I was younger, it was either fight or die. A lot of the rebels are just like me, so get used to it.
Let me guess, you all banded together after the occupation. That means if I learn your weakness, I learn theirs. A weak strategy. All sharing the same fighting style?
Well, now I know why you wanted to spar so soon, and here I thought you might be warming up to me.
Don't flatter yourself, Shane.
Then stop giving me reasons to. I guess Sovy wasn't much of a fighter.
He used to be, but I could tell he always held back. There was doubt in his mind, and it clouded his judgment. I trusted it would go away, but you know what happened next.
Yeah, and he's paying for his mistakes. But you can trust me, Halin. I won't let you down. Remember what I did when we were in Mazeo.
You killed your former leader, your best friend. I don't need anything else from you, Shane. That proves your loyalty almost tenfold.
Good. So what do you think Sovy will do next? I mean, he's no longer welcome in Balteus, right?
I saw him wandering the halls before he left. It's funny. He might actually try to seek out the blade. He was saying something about Alarinthia over and over.
What makes him think it'll be an Alarinthia?
Well, the rebellion will try its hardest to survive. After what we did, it makes sense that they'd flee the mainland. They can't come here, so the only other option is Alarinthia.
It makes sense when you put it that way. Maybe he can regain his honor after all. But I have to ask, why aren't we going?
The rebellion will come here eventually. We have the home advantage if we sit and wait. There's no way they can overpower our army.
That's smart. So we're really doing this. We're going to end the rebellion.
And any more that may come, I sense a bright future for us, Shane. And we'll do it all. For the Triumvirate.
Yeah, for the Triumvirate.
Yes, fulfill your purpose. Do what you were meant to do.
It's your turn, Monarch. We're transporting you to the Colosseum one by one. That way you're less inclined to try and escape us. You'll be the last one, so it's almost time to fight. I'd advise not wasting much time. but head to the Colosseum when you're ready. You'll be followed by myself and a few guards. Oh, and good luck. You'll need it. The entire nation will be watching and cheering, but whether it's for your victory or demise remains to be seen.
The evolution of tournaments. Initially, rulers of Alarinthia were decided during a simple one-on-one battle, but citizens quickly realized that this was not the best way to gauge a potential ruler's true strength. They needed to add more. This is when the champion system came into play. Each fighter would elect a champion to fight by their side. This would not only test their offensive powers, but show how they handled defensive maneuvers as well. They'd have to fight their enemy and their enemy's champion while also protecting themselves and their champion. This made battles much more fun. Later on, the reserve forces came into play. Each leader would bring a force of about 20 or 30 men into battle with them. This was to make sure they knew how to lead an army efficiently as well. What started out as simple fights to the death have evolved into a full-on sport. Leaders must display their ability to fight, to defend, and to command an army. This ensures that Alarinthia is always in the best possible hands. Only the most competent warriors can win.
Well, here we are. If you head on inside, you'll find your allies. After that, you'll all be escorted to a private room. You'll have a few moments to prepare once you're in there, but I'd say within the next hour or two, the battle will be over. They don't last very long if both sides have prepared enough. I must thank you again for offering me your allegiance, Monarch. Ulrich may seem strong, but we will win this battle. I know it. We must make sure that we show them kindness, however. They wish to die for their cause, so we are granting them a gift. Do not kill in cold blood. You must mourn them and never forget. These battles are not senseless killing. There is honor in them. Vivian may think of us barbaric, but that is far from the truth. We only want our nation to be in the hands of the strong. Perhaps that is why the Triumvirate has not subjugated us yet. If this nation became like the mainland, I couldn't say the same. Ideals only get you so far. Strength must guide you from there. And it is strength that we have. I'll see you inside, Monarch.
It shouldn't be longer than a few more hours, but I have to ask, what brings you to Alarinthia?
It's probably better for you not to know. I don't want to involve people in my problems.
Involve away. What else are we going to do? You paid me tenfold to take you and you alone. How can you expect me not to question that?
I expect you to do the job you're paid for. Anything else is unnecessary. Don't you agree?
Look, the way I see it, we're friends here. If you need a ferryman back, I'd love to help you out. Treat me with a cold shoulder and you could get stranded.
Is that a threat?
Of course not. I'm just curious. Here, let's start with the basics. What kind of work do you do? You already know what I do for a living. Don't you think I deserve to know as a courtesy? I don't care if you're breaking the law or anything like that.
No, I'm not breaking the law. But honestly, I don't know how to answer your question. I guess you could say that I'm between things right now.
And why is that?
I thought it was time to seek out better opportunities.
In Alarinthia?
To be honest, I have no idea. I just know some people who might be there. Talking to them should get things on the right track.
And what line of work are you in?
I guess you could say I seek out information. Nothing pleases me greater than learning the truth. But the people I worked for were far less than honest.
Lied to by your bosses? Join the club. They'll do anything to save face and get their way. That's part of why I work on my own now. I get you. Is that what you were so worried to open up about? Trust me, almost everybody knows what that's like. I hope your next opportunity is more fruitful.
I can only hope.
So what did they lie to you about?
Everything.
Then I can see why you'd run away.
Excuse me?
I just mean, it's totally understandable.
I'm not running away. I'm doing what's right.
Sometimes running away is the right thing to do.
I'm sorry. You're right. I didn't mean to start something on your boat. Once we get to Alarinthia, you'll never see me again.
There's no need to go that far. Don't misunderstand me, I've got your back. You're not the only man who's run away, you know. Why else do you think I live at sea? Sometimes I don't set foot on land for weeks at a time. I prefer to be out here, where I live on my own terms. I'm free.
Free,
Yeah, there's no better way to live. Imagine not being shackled by higher-ups. You're fully capable of making your own decisions.
That would be wonderful. I've been a subordinate for my entire life. I think it's finally time that I carved my own path.
I can't believe how cool this place is. Too bad I can't actually enjoy it. I'm super stressed. I'm really worried that we might lose somebody today.
Have we actually worked out who's fighting? I mean, which of our members are joining Draku's reserve forces? The leader and the champion we know, but what about everyone else?
Ulrich fights with Vivian. Pro fights with Draku. Vivian's reserve forces are part of his own army. Draku's reserve forces will borrow from our army. We believe using our created seers will be the best idea. We wouldn't want to put any of our main members at risk. If we win, our allegiance will make this sacrifice worthwhile. This will also give Draku's side an incredible boost in strength. We will need every advantage possible if we want to win this battle. But we should avoid killing our own. Focus on Vivian's life, Monarch. As for Valessa's question, the Monarch will fight among Draku's reserve forces. It is important for a leader to fight for their beliefs. No delegation at times like this. This means that several of our key members will be put in harm's way. It may be impossible for us to avoid the loss of our reserve forces, but we may be able to win without losing any of our comrades. We must simply focus on the lives of Vivian and Draku. Do your best to kill Vivian before any harm can come to Pro or Ulrich. We have the option to mitigate our losses, so we must take it.
So you'll be safe, Hal? Along with myself and Fortum? What about Dominic? He ran off with Pro and Ulrich.
I suppose we'll find out. We should head to the private rooms and prepare. The battle will be starting in a matter of minutes.
Let's go ask him ourselves, Monarch. This whole ordeal is kind of confusing. For a while, I was scared I'd have to fight.
Yeah, same. And I was really worried. But now I feel bad that I'm just going to watch. This whole situation is so messed up.
It is less than ideal, yes, but we cannot change our circumstances. Let us gather together for last-minute preparations. Only by preparing for the coming storm can we avoid tragedy. If we stand here any longer, the odds of losing our comrades will grow. Do not let the enemy get the upper hand. That has happened enough.
Stop being so stubborn, Ulrich! We can do this without killing each other. Just focus on the leader. That's all you need to do.
I don't think you heard me the first time. There's nothing I won't do to secure victory. That means if I have to kill you, I will. And there's no way you're going to convince me otherwise. The future of my nation is at stake. Your life means nothing to me.
Look, we can figure something out. There's no need for either of you to die. I'll be fighting down there too, so...
Stop controlling everything, Dominic. This isn't even your army anymore. You need to start acting that way.
But...
No, this army belongs to the Monarch. He's the one that will be fighting down there. Besides, planning like that is against the rules. It's a fight to the death, no matter what. Conspiring to prevent that displays a lack of honor. I may want to overthrow this tradition, but I won't mock it.
Mutual respect. That wasn't something I expected, Ulrich. There's nothing I enjoy more than an honorable opponent. It almost makes up for the attempt at crashing my ball. But it doesn't mean I'll go easy on you. Where is Vivian, by the way? Did he run?
No, he's in a separate room. Something about meditating before the fight. I'd leave him be until it's time to do this. Speaking of which, may I request some time with my comrades? If the battle is starting soon, then some farewells may be in order.
Of course, I didn't mean to intrude. As soon as you're ready, we will begin. I'll be in the lobby while I wait for you all.
Okay, so let's go over this situation before the fight begins. We need to make sure we understand exactly what's going down. The upcoming alliance will ensure our attack on Balteus hits hard. I'm fighting alongside Draku as his champion. The fight is over if either him or myself fall in combat. Our reserve forces will consist of the created seers. The Monarch will also be among those reserve forces too. If he wins, then Draku will offer us his might to attack Balteus. If he loses, we get nothing. The pledge lies with him alone. If Draku wins,
the nation will stay exactly the same. But if Vivian wins, he will lead Alarinthia in a new direction. Hopefully, one that allies itself with the new monarchy. Someone will die here today. Either Vivian, Draku, myself, or Ulrich. But these deaths will not be in vain. They will give our army incredible strength. Their lives will help us reshape this world. Or mine. I'm ready to die for this too. We wouldn't stand a chance if we attacked Balteus on our own. An alliance is necessary. This is the best way we can get it. One life taken here today is worth it to change all of Alestia. To finally take this world back from the Triumvirate, you must simply hope that the monarch made the right choice. If there even is a right choice in this type of situation. For example, our allegiance with Draku isn't guaranteed. If Vivian wins, he won't offer us his men. We sided against him. It's a real possibility since Ulrich is offering Vivian his strength. That about sums it up. Me, Ulrich, and the Monarch need to go to the arena. Everyone else will be given seats to watch us fight. If this is the last time I see you all, then goodbye. It was an honor serving you and fighting for freedom. I can only hope that you gain that freedom in the end.
I don't have much to say. I just wanted to get rid of Draku. I'm not very good at farewells either, so I won't waste your time. Good luck in the future, all of you. I hope to see you again.
The created seers are already waiting by the arena. I'll take everyone to our seats so we can watch you fight. I guess it's on you now, Monarch. Head to the arena.
Do you really need to rush into it like this? Can't you take some time to prepare and train?
That would be impossible. Alarinthia takes these battles very seriously. Delaying it would insult the honor of all participants.
Screw honor then! I'm not ready to say goodbye just yet. There's still so much we need to do.
Then don't say goodbye. Simply hope that he survives this battle. Cheer him on from the sidelines. Support him.
I guess that's all we can really do. Things will work out for the best. I know it. We're due for some good luck by now. Should we go take our seats?
Yeah, we probably should. Monarch, good luck.
Hey, don't touch that! It's mine! I plan to use it during the upcoming battle. Never touch a weapon that's not your own.
The Grand Library. Located in Balteus, the Grand Library is something of an anomaly. While many say it contains literature about Alestia's entire history, nobody has ever actually set foot inside. Rumors of a mysterious man tending to the books are rampant. Could such a collection really be under the watch of one individual? Furthermore, what are the books actually about? Members of the Triumvirate's honor guard ensure that nobody but this mystery man enters the library. But who could he be? Just what is the Triumvirate protecting?
So, the battle is about to begin. Both teams will enter the Colosseum on opposite sides. When we meet in the middle, chaos will ensue. This chaos will involve the death of many people. I hope that you've said your potential goodbyes, Monarch. I'll do my best to support you, but I need to focus on my own safety. Besides, I think you'll be fine. I've heard rumors of that sword you're carrying. If I get into a pinch, I might even count on your support. That is, if we even run into each other out there. It's a big arena, and it'll be full of soldiers. Let's get going. We're on the other side.
We will use our powers to protect you. Do not worry, and simply give it your all.
However, we haven't exactly mastered this power, so don't rely on us to keep you out of harm's way.
If we survive this, we will continue to grow our gift. Our goal is to be of use during the final assault on Balteus.
Don't worry, we can do this. We only have a few more seconds, so get ready. If this is like any other battle, it'll only last a few minutes.
See? I told you we picked the right guy. This'll be over before you know it, and we'll be the winners. After this, our attack on Balteus will be a cakewalk. I know it. Stay back, Monarch! Let them get things started.
No, this is the perfect time to charge. The cover of chaos will help us catch them off guard.
Right! Hey, Monarch, you okay? Monarch!
Going after my champion, huh? Vivian's men must have a death wish. Here, Monarch, let me help you up.
Now!
Stay close. If we can get through this, then we'll win. It looks like this was his plan all along.
Yeah, this strategy reeks of desperation. Get us out of this, Monarch. Use that blade if you have to. There's no way he has more up his sleeve. Not after this.
sorry. I can't have you getting in the way. I have to do this, Monarch. Please forgive me. Give it up, Pro. This is what I was meant to do. Changing Alarinthia means everything to me.
I can't let you win, Ulrich! We need Dracu's strength to take down the Triumvirate! You can always come back and change things after the war!
Never!
Are you really willing to die for this? Think about what Dracu can help us accomplish!
If the choice is between fighting alongside Dracu and death, then yeah, I'm willing to die for this, Pro. But I have to ask, are you willing to kill me in the name of my enemy?
Yes, of course!
If you're willing to kill me, then do it! Show me that our friendship means nothing to you!
But we're family!
No, that's just an excuse you made up.
Why are you saying this?
Because I don't believe you're willing to kill me. But I stand here ready to kill you at a moment's notice. That need for friends and family to be loved, that's your weakness. All I've ever wanted was to change this nation for the better. You, Tomek, the Monarch, you're worth less than pawns to me. So I'll give you one chance to kill me. Take my life, or lose yours.
Ulrich, stop! Ulrich, I'm sorry.
He's waking up.
We were so worried, Monarch. We didn't know if you'd recover. Ulrich did some damage. Your nose is broken, but if you give it time, you'll be totally fine.
So, what's the next step?
With our alliance finalized, we need to head back to Mazeo. After some swift preparation, we'll launch the assault on Balteus. This is it. We've come away from this with more soldiers than ever.
The Triumvirate would not expect us to recover this quickly, but here we stand, stronger than ever before. We can win this war. We would advise not mulling over this sacrifice. It secured us victory.
Yeah, Ulrich might not have sided with Dracu, but he sided with us. We're still going to secure the future he was fighting for, Alestia's future. He was a dear friend, and this loss will give me more power, more resolve.
A good outlook. Wasting time to mourn could cost us this entire war. We must make our way to the docks and meet with Dracu. Focus on the things that are within our control, Monarch.
So, should we just start walking to the docks? Let's make sure to stock up on lots of water. The journey back isn't going to be any easier.
Whoa, hold on a second here. Before we go, I have a question to ask. Pro, why did you do this? You could have waited and went after Vivian. Hey! I asked you a question, you coward!
Fortim.
I know we have an alliance or whatever, but who cares? We lost one of our friends. Why is nobody even sad?
We'll have plenty of time to grieve after this war is over. We've lost plenty, and I'm sure we'll be losing even more, but if we give up and mope around, we'll lose everything. We're not forgetting about him, Fortim. We just have more important things to focus on. Let's get to the docks. We can talk more on the trip home.
That's part of the problem, Valessa. I don't even know what home is anymore. It was Valenorth and then Mazeo, but everything around us is getting destroyed. And I thought home was being with our friends. But now they're dying, Valessa. Fine. Forget I even said anything. But we were betrayed, plain and simple, by one of our own. It may have gotten us an alliance, but it's still a betrayal. And in my books, people like that deserve to be punished. So you can push this aside or whatever, but I won't. This is a crime that needs to be answered for.
Well, I guess maybe venting like that could help. Let's just get it out of the way while we're walking, alright? Every moment we waste makes our enemy more prepared. Well, it's time for a brief break. Let's get some water and then head back to the docks. If I remember correctly, this means we're halfway there.
What do you want? Look, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. You'll understand one day, I promise. Trust me, I can tell that you're not sorry. There was no remorse on your face when you killed him, and even now, I see no hint of sadness on your face. Forget it. I'm serious, Fortim. So am I. Just leave me alone, Pro. We'd be better off without you. Fine. You win. But don't say I didn't try. Come on, Monarch. You have my back in this, right? What happened was way out of line. I know that everybody is focusing on the war right now, but I can't do that. This is just too much to take in. What should I do? Are you going to forgive this? Do they really, though? If the Triumvirate asked for a second chance, you'd give them one? I don't think that's true. It's just harder because we're all friends. But then why should friends get a free pass to commit atrocities? This whole thing is just so messed up. It doesn't make any sense. He should be punished, just like any other criminal. Shouldn't he? All right, but just take my advice. Don't do it while everybody is still in shock. Let them process these events and form an opinion.
Draku, there you are. Happy that you're still in power, I assume?
It went exactly as expected. We're ready to aid your attack on Balteus. I'll personally lead my army in the name of your monarch.
Wait, you're leaving Alarinthia? Will everything be fine in your absence?
Yeah, it'll be fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Vivian's defeat has made him hide his face in shame. I don't think anybody else will challenge the throne anytime soon. At least not in the next couple days. The attack is happening soon, isn't it?
Yeah, within a day or two. After we get back to Mazeo, we need to wrap things up. When we sail to Balteus, we might not be returning.
Have a little optimism, Domek. If anybody can slay a team of gods, it's us.
Gods? Don't make me laugh. You know just as well as I do that they're weak, like us. The true power rests with the one who can wield that blade. Terribly sorry to intrude, but I need to have a word with the monarch. If you'd be so kind as to give us some privacy, I'd be forever grateful. A hostile greeting. I don't blame you. You're only treating me the way I treated you. So after this hostility, I expect mercy. Remember, if it weren't for me, you'd be dead. I submit to your authority. Restrain me any way you wish. I only want to talk. When you get back to Mazeo, we can go our separate ways.
Draco, restrain this man immediately. Take him to the brig and make sure he can't escape. Do it before he tries to start anything. He's unarmed.
Once we set sail, come and talk to me, Monarch. I have some information that you might want to hear, including the true identity of the mole among your forces.
Sorry about that, but we need to get things moving. If we stay here any longer, we might get found out. And Sovy definitely can't hear what I need to say. Everybody, come here. I've been keeping a secret from all of you. Well, not just me, but hold on, you'll see. Hey, you can come out now.
It's about time. Hiding in fright isn't really my style. Sorry to worry you, everybody. I really am.
Yeah, putting on this act was getting hard. Let's get on that ship and tell everybody our secret.
Hey now, cut that out. It's nice to know that you missed me, at least. But we should get going before they know I'm still alive.
Yeah, if they find out we cheated, they'll invalidate the victory. I know you want an explanation, so let's talk about it on the ship. We should set sail right away so nobody catches on to us.
Wait, you cheated? How are we going to break this news to our new partner? If they find out, they might just break off our alliance.
It worked out in their benefit, so I doubt they'd care. Let's get going. We'll explain the story on our way home.
I'm so confused.
Don't worry about it, Domek. We made it out of this without any casualties, really. A few members of the reserve forces died, but that's it. Thankfully, none of our seers fell in combat. We have more strength than ever before. That's what matters. Attacking Balteus will be as easy as the snap of a finger.
All right then, I trust you. But you better have a good explanation for this. Let's get going, everybody. We have a long voyage home.
Cheating is not something we agree with. Such tactics are what our current enemy employs. This journey seems to be changing all of your values.
But he's still alive. That's great news. I was really freaking out. I didn't know what to do. Don't tell me you think it would be better if he was dead.
Maybe. Means to an end, we suppose. The enemy likely thinks the same way.
Let's go find out what they have to say. I'm also curious about that other man we restrained. There's so much going on right now, I can barely think.
Yeah, I want to figure everything out. I was worried we'd be attacking Balteus without all of our friends. But to know he's still alive? I can't even begin to describe the relief.
Whoa, it's not that bad, trust me. But it's definitely the biggest score of my life. I mean, swindle an entire nation? Amazing! It all started after the attack on our HQ. Damek cheated death, and we rose from the ashes. Then, we were going to Alarinthia, where I knew we'd be fighting. So I thought, what if we could cheat death again, but to our advantage? There was so much room for error that we stepped in to even the odds. I knew that Ulrich would side with Vivian regardless, so I went to him.
I didn't want to work with Pro at first. It seemed like a plan doomed to failure. Could we really cheat an entire nation, right in front of their own eyes? Obviously, it sounds impossible, but Pro was pretty insistent. He came up with a solid plan. I'd fight with Vivian, and he'd fight with Draku. If we were both on opposing teams, we could throw the battle in any direction. So that's what we did. We ensured victory for the side the Monarch chose.
It was easy enough to manipulate Draku. I mean, he thought he was the one manipulating us, but it was my plan all along to fight by his side. After that, all we needed was this. Along with some chaos and acting, they believed the battle was over. The chaos, of course, was the moment the Monarch used the blade. We pushed you toward using it so we could have our opportunity.
That's really all there is to it. None of you could know until it was already over. If information was leaked, everything would be for nothing. You're free to come back to Alarinthia, but we might stay behind. It was just in our best interest to get away before they figured things out. So yeah, a new alliance, minimal casualties, and a great story. I'd say this was an all-around success, wouldn't you?
Yeah! I can't believe we really pulled it off! I think this might just be my masterpiece.
That might be the coolest thing I've ever heard. I knew you were a swindler, Pro, but this is crazy. You're using your skill to shape Alestia's history.
And Ulrich, I never knew you were so good at acting. You really had me sold there. I almost can't believe it. It felt like something was up, but to think it was this?
Almost puts my strategizing to shame, I have to say. So what's the next step? Is it just smooth sailing now? I imagine our chances of getting caught are pretty low.
You should probably tell Draku what really went down. I doubt he'd mind, and at least he wouldn't find out another way. In the meantime, we need to have a word with our new prisoner.
Right, I'll tell him while you do that then. But I think we've also earned some much needed rest. Let's take the day off and meet back up here in the morning. That is, if it's okay with you, Monarch.
Sovy is in the brig, right? Can't believe he surrendered. Just like that.
And I heard him say something about a mole? Let's go talk with him, Monarch. You deserve some answers.
Yeah, let Damek pamper Draku for the time being. But before we head to the brig, look behind us, Monarch. It's starting to look like an impressive army, isn't it?
My, I wasn't expecting an entourage. Should I be flattered or concerned for my safety?
Explain yourself, Sovy. I'm seconds away from throwing you overboard.
Again with the hostility. Look, I don't even really know what I'm doing here. It just felt like the right thing to do, given the circumstances.
What circumstances?
Back when we attacked your HQ in Mazeo, my goal was to kill your friend and retrieve the blade. I failed both objectives, and the Triumvirate punished me.
I see.
You are correct. I found out that the Triumvirate was lying to me. I let you live because I wasn't sure of what to do next. I'm still uncertain. When I got back to Balteus, they punished me by placing me in exile.
You expect us to believe this? Sovy, you're nothing but a mindless slave. The monarch survived because of his strength.
See, Ulrich? You're always so paranoid. Listen to your friends before making snap judgments. I have a lot to say, so you better learn to trust me again.
Don't count on it.
So, what did you want to tell us? Around here, you need to earn your keep. Ulrich was serious about throwing you overboard.
Well, this is where it gets complicated. I still consider myself a servant to the Triumvirate. But Halin? Well, I want nothing more than to see him fall. I'm not here to hurt any of you. Not this time. As you can see, even though I broke out of my binds, I am playing nice. Right now, all I can offer is information to aid your attack on Balteus.
And why would you want to help us take down the Triumvirate?
Doing so would involve taking down Halin as well. He sold me out and got me into this whole mess.
Okay, and let's say we take down Halin. What then? You'd be reinstated as Inquisitor and just stab us in the back.
You speak as if people aren't capable of playing both sides. Either way, I don't know. I'd make my choice when the time comes.
What makes you say that so easily? You've served the Triumvirate for your entire life.
No, not my entire life. They welcomed me with open arms when I was young and broken. Now here they are, inflicting the same wounds they had promised to heal.
Is that supposed to make sense to me?
No, because it barely makes sense to me. Now, Pro, will you let me say what I have to say?
Sure.
If you want to take down the Triumvirate, you'll have to enter their chambers. I've never seen them leave, and I don't expect that they ever will. I always thought they were hiding, but I don't think that's true. There's something at the back of their chambers. Something off. It's like a spirit idol, but the very sight of it fills me with fear. I'm not sure what it is, but I have a few theories about it. I think that maybe it's their source of power. But I'm probably wrong, as that seems to be the trend lately. Either way, its destruction should be your top priority.
A spirit idol in their own chambers? But those are conduits for the monarchy. It makes no sense that they'd keep one close by. Their main goal was to destroy all of the idols. Nice try, but I'm not going to believe any of this. Let's go, Monarch. We'll ditch him in Mazeo.
Visions of the Triumvirate's chambers.
When were you going to tell us about this?
I'm not finished yet. I suggest that your attack focuses on entering their chambers. There, you could take down both them and this dark idol. However, you would have to fight your way through Halin. And that's where my next piece of information comes in. Halin may seem just like you and I, but he's not. The Triumvirate created him with that blade. He was made to be the perfect soldier. He would always serve his masters, no matter what. Little did I know that loyalty was stronger than our friendship. He promised not to tell them what happened, but the moment we got home, he sold me out immediately. He lives under the Triumvirate's thrall, a true mindless slave. You must never let them get their hands on that blade again. They aren't limited to suits of armor. They've mastered it enough to create life. Of course, their first test was Halin. They needed someone trustworthy enough to serve them. I think they did it to ensure that nobody else ran away. My previous master, the former Grand Inquisitor, defected. I trusted Halin and the Triumvirate. They all betrayed me. But there's your information. I'm sure it will help you out. A possible weakness and the true nature of Halin. With that blade, you could even give him freedom. It would release the spell that the Triumvirate has put on him. Of course, that's not how I'd like things to play out. I would prefer it if you let me kill him, Monarch. That is all I ask for in return. I won't get in your way. If you grant me this, I would be further in your debt. So, do you trust me? Good, because there's two more things to talk about. And now that I've earned your trust, you have no reason to doubt them. I saved them for last because, well, it involves dishonesty among your ranks. Well then, do you two want to tell him, or should I?
I guess it's time. I'll go first. My allegiance is with the rebellion. I can promise you that. But that wasn't always the case. It's all in the past. Ages ago. Sovy is trying to harm our trust with ancient information, Monarch. I knew this was going to happen. He'd earn your trust with a couple of interesting facts and then attack. This is subterfuge. My past has no bearing on my current loyalty. But I knew this secret would come out sooner or later. That's the real reason I sided with Pro to cheat the Colosseum. you'd know my loyalty was with you, no matter what.
Delaying, as always. He's scared of you, Monarch. He knows you might throw him away.
No, the Monarch would never do that. Not after what I did for our cause in Alarinthia. So go ahead, Sovy. Watch your plan crumble and fall. Grand Inquisitor Ulrich. That was lifetimes ago. Ancient history. He's using a dead past to try and hurt us, Monarch. I realized that the Triumvirate was my true enemy. That's when I decided to join the rebellion. You really thought this would work, Sovy?
I never said I was intending to hurt you. This is merely information that might help you in Balteus. Ulrich has inside knowledge, Monarch, and he can wield the blade. It's your choice if you let this information hurt you. But in your situation, I would be relieved to know. Now, there's no need to keep any more secrets. Go on. Tell the Monarch, Pro. It's time for him to know, don't you think?
So, I guess I'll start from the beginning. My parents abandoned me. They didn't die in the occupation like I tell everybody. I've always wanted to know one thing. Why? None of my searches gave me any useful information, so over time I grew more and more desperate. One day, the Triumvirate reached out to me. They said they knew the truth about my parents, but in exchange, they wanted me to give them information, details about the rebellion. It seemed like a harmless exchange. But over time, they started to ask for more and more. I gave them so many secrets, but got nothing in return. It wasn't much longer before I quit. I had enough of their lies.
But the damage was already done, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was the last thing you leaked to them, Pro?
The location of our new HQ. The tunnels. It was a good hideout, right under their noses. They'd never find it, unless somebody told them.
That's right. Pro is responsible. His leak enabled us to attack you in Mazeo. All of those lives, the blood is on his hands.
No! Like I said, I quit. They lied to me. They knew nothing about my parents. All they wanted was somebody gullible enough to serve them.
It doesn't change what happened, Pro. Now, Monarch, how do you take this?
Hey, I proved my loyalty. Just like Ulrich. I put my life on the line to serve the rebellion. There was no guarantee we'd survive the Colosseum.
I made up for what I did. All those lives we lost, we got them back, and more. Our Alarinthian allies will help us win this war, hands down. So much dishonesty in the air, wouldn't you agree? I want you to look at your comrades and then look at me. Unlike them, I've been nothing but honest with you. I would rather have an honest enemy than a cheating friend. That's part of why I wanted to talk with you, Monarch. I know that we can be open with one another. Very well. We're meeting on the deck come morning, then? I'll make sure to be on my best behavior. I respect you, Monarch. I always told myself that I'd serve the rightful rulers of this world. It just seemed like I was also lied to by the Triumvirate. Just like Ulrich. Just like Pro. We're victims here. All of us. I may have realized it late, but was it too late? I guess we'll see. Very well. It's only fair. Have a good rest, Monarch. My name is Sovy. I am, or was, the Grand Inquisitor. I no longer serve the Triumvirate. I was betrayed by my apprentice. He sold me out, forcing my masters to place me in exile. They threw me away. Everything they ever told me was a lie. I thought they were Alestia's rightful rulers. But then I figured out that this wasn't true. The heir to the throne is the monarch. I am a victim of their tyranny, just as you are, all of you. I hope you understand. I'm still at a loss. I don't really know what to do with myself. But coming here to meet with you and the monarch seemed like a good idea.
Last night, I also revealed some information that could help your upcoming attack. I just need to know that I belong somewhere. Attacking the Triumvirate will involve taking down Halin. We share a common purpose, at least until he's taken care of. After that, I really don't know. I've always pledged my loyalty to the rightful ruler of Alestia. Logic would dictate that I now serve the monarch. But I don't know. The Triumvirate can throw people away at the snap of a finger, but I'm not like that. What they did was hurt me almost beyond repair. I will help you attack Balteus and take down Halin. You have my word. But after that, I don't know what will happen. In that sense, I am both an asset and a liability. If you want me to leave, then that's what I'll do. When we get to Mazeo, you'll never see me again. That is, unless you want my help. I can offer valuable intel. It's a gamble for both you and me. I don't fully trust you either. But hopefully I've earned a sliver of trust with the monarch. If he vouches for me, then hopefully you will as well. That is all. My fate is in your hands. I have nothing more to say.
I honestly didn't expect this, but nothing has been normal lately. I'm willing to give Sovy a chance. I did the same thing with Grizz. His defection marked a turning point for our cause, a big one. If he can help us out, then I think we need to accept it. And if he turns against us, then he's easily outnumbered. The potential benefits outweigh the potential risks.
This is clearly a trap. We request that you deny his assistance. He's alone now, but he won't be when we arrive in Balteus. If we give him information, he'll turn on us once we get there. Surely we aren't the only one who thinks this way. An alliance with our enemy mere days before our attack. It's too convenient. Sovy is playing us for a fool.
I'm with Hal on this one. We can't work with the enemy. This is the man that killed you and burned down Valinor in your vision. I know it was a trick, but the man is the same. He's a trained killer. For that reason, I can't accept his offer. Fortune, you're with me, right?
I don't know, Valessa. I think everybody deserves a second chance. We all had that moment when we turned against the Triumvirate. Why is it so hard to believe that Sovy might have that moment? He worked so closely with them. He's seen their true nature. He has more knowledge on them than anybody else in our army. It makes sense that he'd come to the same realization as us. I mean, sure, it took a while longer, but that's because he served them. When you remove the excuse of loyalty, it can become pretty clear. That's why he didn't fully realize things until they put him in exile.
Yeah, I'm with Fortem. Everybody deserves a second chance. We've all been there before. We've all made a wrong decision or two. There's no better way to make up for it than doing the right thing.
Sovy isn't concerned with doing the right thing. He's a liar, plain and simple. There's no way we can trust him. He'd turn on us the moment we arrived in Balteus. That's a guarantee. Letting him close to us now would only enable him to gather information. If he knows our strategy, he can counter us with the Inquisition when we arrive. It's a death sentence, Monarch. Don't be foolish. We've come too far to risk this.
Well, Monarch? Very well.
Well, this is it. We're ready to attack Balteus. Everything we've ever wanted is finally within our grasp. The voyage will take a day or two, so we can plan on the way. For now, we need to ensure that we leave no stone unturned. Visit with your loved ones, say your goodbyes, because this is it. Once we leave for Balteus, our fates are as good as sealed. I don't think there's anything left to say. Finish up your business, and we'll set sail when the monarch demands it. Act under the assumption that you only have 1 or 2 days before departure. I don't want to rush anything as important as a goodbye, but every moment we waste is a moment for our enemy to prepare. I trust that we'll find a happy medium and embark without regret.